Hi, my name is Victoria Nanetti. I'm a community reporter for rptv News. On June 30th, Street Haven, Canada's first women's shelter, hosted their annual Pride BBQ at 87 Pembroke. It was an opportunity to have good food, listen to some amazing music, and to network and to connect with Street Haven staff and clients, and community friends and partners. There were speeches by Cheng, Executive Director Sheryl Song, Board Chair, and Jessica Bell, member of Provincial Parliament and NDP Housing Critic. Fred was at the barbecue to interview Street Haven's Executive Director. Let's hear what she had to say.
My name is Cheng. I'm the Executive Director for Street Haven, and we're extremely pleased to have your organization at today's event. It is our annual Pride Barbecue, and we're extremely happy to have our annual barbecue this year because last year, this time, we had to shut down the barbecue because we were in the midst of a huge outbreak. We were just ending wave 6 and 7 of the pandemic. So welcome this year. We're so glad to have everybody come, and thank you for coming. This year's Pride is especially important because we have seen a significant need for our shelter, addictions, and training services from members of the 2S community. Specifically, client need from African refugees who have fled their countries of origin because of who they are, who they love, and what they believe in are significant, and more must be done for them. The housing crisis is intersecting with the homeless crisis, and this has become a women's crisis and the 2S community crisis. Now more than ever, we need to show our support and solidarity. For these newcomers on the eve of Canada Day, it is important that they be given the best start that they can be given, and that means access to affordable housing.
In terms of the recent Toronto elections result, what are your thoughts concerning Olivia Chow as new mayor and the needs that has to be addressed in this community?
I think the new mayor will have a huge task ahead of her. In terms of how we feel about her election, I think we're feeling optimistic. She did come and visit us during the campaign, so we're extremely pleased that she took the time out to come and listen to a women's agency such as ours, to listen to some of our concerns. In fact, she was part of a panel with several other sister agencies we had organized, asking her position around affordable housing, around mental health supports, and around the role that not-for-profits can play around developing new housing. We were very, I think, optimistic following that conversation with her. Her position around the role that the not-for-profit can play, and the fact that she wants to have more housing operated and developed by the city rather than the for-profit sector, I think is more promising. We do know, based on a lot of research, that private sector owners are the worst offenders when it comes to rent evictions. We know that about 80 to 90% of some of the corporations evict people because of rent-related issues. So having affordable housing being managed by the not-for-profit sector or by city is a much preferable situation than by the private sector. So that was one of the key concerns. I think her understanding of the needs that women have around mental health supports was also a critical issue that I think that she can focus on. And we did inform Olivia that when it comes to women's agencies such as ours, we are funded by the city for our 2 shelter programs. Our base shelter, as you may be aware, is actually Canada's oldest women's shelter. We're actually the least funded of all the agencies, men or women, when it comes to shelter services. And we did tell her there is an equity issue we're concerned about, and the fact that there is a clear discrimination when it comes to the fact that women's shelter services are underfunded compared to the other shelters for men or co-ed shelters.
So every single time when I come into Street Haven, it's always pretty much the highlight of my week. Because the moment I walk in, the energy from the staff, from the clients, it just reminded me of the important work that we are all doing here. And so on behalf of the Street Haven board, we want to wish everyone a really happy Pride. And especially on this special day, it really reminds me and the board the important work that the Street Haven team, staff, and management are doing in serving clients that are most in need and also the most vulnerable in our society. Street Haven's roots has always been grassroots. So when our founder, Peggy Ann Woolpool, first founded Open Doors of this exact house to the community, she knew women need a safe place to be. And fast forward 58 years later, that's honestly a lot older than me. And it's the same age as my mother, actually. So we are now a multi-service women's agency. And not only we operate shelter services, we also have addiction treatment program, which I had a chance to speak to some of the clients and have heard how transformative it is to their lives. And on top of that, we also have training services and also supportive housing. What a wonderful accomplishment in the last 58 years. And it's built by women for women. I think for that, it deserves a round of applause. Yeah. And as Sumi mentioned, we will be bigger. And the board has huge plan for the organization. And I have visited many shelters across Canada, and also I'm from China. I lived in the US, lived in Singapore. I have visited many, many different shelters. And I can say Street Haven is definitely one of the best run ones. And I think all the clients here can testament for my comment. And everybody has told me their stories, how Street Haven transformed their lives. And that is, I think, just for the staff, give yourself a round of applause for all the important work and not celebrated enough. I just want to say thank you to everyone here. Thank you to all the Street Haven team and management and also all the clients to come together to celebrate this special day. And now I'm going to invite Jessica Bell, the member of the Provincial Parliament for Rosedale and the NDP Housing Critic, to say a last few words to wrap up.
Thank you. It's lovely to be here. It's really lovely to be here for a few reasons. First, it's Pride Month. And Pride is about having a party, but it's also about being political. Because LGBTQ plus rights, people who choose to love, choose to identify how they wish, some people don't like that. And that's why it is very important that we stand up and celebrate this community and show our support for Pride. And you're doing that today, so thank you. I also want to say thank you to the staff of Street Haven. I've met you many times, and every time I meet you, I'm blown away by the passion, the commitment, the time, the energy you put into your work. It is hard, and you give your all, and it shines. It shines what you do. I want to say thank you to the clients for being here, for surviving, for striving, for looking at improving your lives. It's important that you're here as well. As your MPP, my job is to work with you to make sure that we can solve our housing crisis in this city. We have a housing crisis. Rent is too expensive. The shelters are full. We do not have places for people who have children, who have just moved here, who are struggling. And that's not right. We are one of the richest provinces and places in the world. We have the resources to provide housing for people and care for people so that they can live good lives, recover and grow and contribute. That's what I will work to do with you, and I know we can accomplish a lot when we work together. I'm so pleased you invited me here today, and have a great barbecue.
Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel, and check out all of our social media platforms. For more information, check out our website.